So in today's video, we're going to look at the three great C's that every business owner needs to have. Yeah. So basically, it's the three C's to business mindset that no one ever gets to talk about. Be it in business school, be it if you like grown by or mentored by someone. These are the three mindset cores that you really need to possess before you choose to start a business. Yeah. So let's all get to face the facts that it is not always the case that for one to start a business, you have to have the right tools, you have to have the right tactics, you have to have the strongest hustle culture. Yes, as much as that's true, there is always one thing that comes before all that, and that is having a strong, solid mindset. So, with that being said, let's get to see what these three cores are. Starting off with one, yeah, that is clarity. We all have to agree that clarity creates momentum. Yeah? So without this clarity effect or without this clarity core, you're going to expose yourself to doing too much of the work. You'll be exposed to doing too much of the posting on every platform. You'll be exposed to trying out every strategy under the sun that you think will help you work out or find your business growth and all that. And worst case scenario, you'll be the kind of person who is always defined by chasing shiny objects. Yeah? And obviously, when we say shiny objects, that is when you come across working things in the market and you want to try it out. Find a new opportunity in the market, you after it. Find a new business strategy in the market, you go for it. Yeah. When you get to nail the clarity bit, trust me, the momentum is going to build up. However, how is this going to be of help? How is the momentum going to be of help? Well, it's quite easy because with clarity, you're going to be clear of who you're going to help. You're going to be clear of who you're trying to service. That means the offer you're trying to provide to the market. Yeah? You're going to be clear of what success looks to you. Because trust me, most people out there do not know what success is. And above it all, they even don't know what they're trying to offer. Yeah? So there is a simple kind of exercise that everyone needs to try out. Yeah? In fact, if you're watching this video, here's a little exercise that you need to try out. In just one sentence, I want you to fill in X, Y, and Z of this statement. Yeah? So I hope X, that means the kind of your audience, yeah? Your targeted audience. Yeah? Do a certain action, which is Y, so that they can achieve a certain result, which is Z. So if you can fill out in one sentence, like for instance, I myself, I help small business owners or solopreneurs, that is my X, achieve business growth in the shortest time possible. Yeah. So that is my preposition. That is my clarity. I know who I'm targeting. I know what kind of offer I have to give, and I know the results that clients or my targeted audience is going to achieve. So if you get to nail that right, just like the way I am, and yes, I agree and understand, it might not be like it might not be the best or it might not be clear out or well stated in the first instances. Yeah? But have it, try as much as you can to have it. And with time, you'll get to polish it so that you get to come up with a superb problem statement. That being said, let's head over to our second core, and that is consistency. The most mistake that I see most people get to make is that every solopreneur or every small business owner that is starting out in business, they always expect to get big results from random bursts of effort. Yeah? But trust me again here, that does not get to work. In fact, it is not all about the hustle, but it's rather about the habits. Yeah? So you have to do those small random habits, yeah, one at a time, compound those habits so that they get to compound to come up with a bigger burst of effort. Yeah? So the key here is that you've got to show up daily. Yeah? Show up even when no one's trying to watch your stuff. Show up if it's YouTube business that you're trying to run to like do, trying to sell off information like the way we're doing it right now. Show up, yeah. Whether you have 0 followers, whether no one's even watching you for like months and months, endeavor to show up on time. Yeah. So if it is 8 a.m. every day, do that. Show up. And yeah, for most of you might still be puzzled and saying, yeah, okay, what do I get to do next? What do I get to do? Like, let me just give you a simple series of steps of action that you have to take as a person. First off, you're going to have to set yourself non-negotiable, like a non-negotiable task. What do I mean by non-negotiable task? Yeah. So you have to set yourself one task that you have to do every day, regardless of what is taking place, regardless of whether you're sick, regardless of whether you're tired, regardless of whether you're exhausted, regardless of whether someone is like you don't have time. You have to pick that one non-negotiable. Focus on that. Do that every day. So, giving an example, I can give an example. Say you're into this information selling business, yeah? You have to post daily. That can be one. Yeah? If it is trying to reach out to various clients, you have to talk to 3 leads. Yeah? They might not be leads per se, but every person you come in contact with is a lead. So try every day to reach out to 3 leads. Yeah? Whether they are there, whether they're not there, go out there, find them. And then lastly, try to learn as much as you can. Dedicate about 30 minutes every day to learn. It is going to help you a lot. And if you do that enough times, it's going to come a time or over time, those tiny reps that you get to put in, they're going to stack up into bigger wins. So don't sleep on that. And by the way, are you trying to find value in this? Because if you are, please show me the signs by liking the video. And if you've not yet subscribed, please do, because we wouldn't want to miss more of what we have in store. And then lastly, we head over to the last C, and that is the confidence. What you really need to understand about confidence is that it does not come before action. It always comes from action. If you get to understand that one statement, then everything will move smoothly. It's just that most people wait until they feel like, yeah, they are ready. I feel like I'm ready to start. But then let me tell you what, you are never going to be ready to start. Yeah? And that is what separates true winners from losers. Yeah? Winners act before they're even ready. But as for losers, they have to wait for the perfect moment. They have to wait for when they get to be ready. And guess what? That time is never there. Okay? So before you even do anything, I want you to have that winner's mindset, that winner's mentality. Act before you're ready. Build belief along the way. Yeah, that is why you have to act before you're ready. Yeah, in the process of acting, in the process of taking action, you're going to build belief along the way. You're going to have that conviction that yeah, I can do it. I can get people clients, and that is all that you need to have. Okay, so even when in doubt, yeah, or even when you don't believe in yourself that you can do it today, just go out there and show up anyways, because do that more enough time, you're going to build that confidence. And if you need some help doing it, I want you to pause for a minute and ask yourself, what would the version of me who is already successful do? It is quite a simple prompt that you need to have, that what is the version of me who is already successful do? You find that if the version of you who is already successful shows up every day, works out every day, reads every day, talks to 3 leads every day, you have to go out there and do exactly that. Talk to 3 leads every day, go learn for 30 minutes every day, and show up every day even when no one's like turning up. And that is all there that you need to know. Yeah. So if you're still puzzled about, yeah, what is it that takes to be required, before you even think tactics, before you even think tools, before you even think of the hustle culture, the hard work and all that, you have to bear the 3 cores or the 3 C's to business mindset. That is confidence, that is clarity, and that is consistency. That's there always. And trust me, if you get the hang of all these 3, you no longer get your way through business. In fact, you will become the kind of solopreneur, the kind of small business owner that gets to win.